Let's be real. The market is louder than a 2-year-old refusing to take a nap. And you know, as a parent, that is loud. So everyone is offering strategic branding, custom websites, and authentic marketing. The thing is, it all looks and sounds the same. So what can you do to stand out and differentiate yourself from this oversaturated market? Let's get into it. All right, let's break it down. I got my notes because this is going to be some good stuff. Anyway, your story is your fingerprint. And I've talked to you about this. Your story is your fingerprint. It's your superpower. It is what makes you stand out, especially in an oversaturated market. So what we have to do is find ways to make sure that your voice is heard above the rest. So how do we do that? You have to lead with you. And as I stated previously, you are the face of your brand. Everything rises and falls with you. So I'm going to give you strategies on how to do that. But first, let's talk about the truth. The truth is, businesses, especially entrepreneurs, when they started their businesses, they started out with trends, not truths. And what I mean is that they talk about how they do it instead of why they do it. And that's the difference. You need to talk about your why. I will scream this from the mountaintops because this is what I tell my clients. When I talk with them and consult them about their websites, it's like, why are you doing this? What makes you want to do this? And this is how we build their, I guess you could say, their profile. So that way people will know them and hear them and see them when they do their networking, or even when they go on lives or things of that nature. We want you to stand out. So these are the steps I will help you to stand out in this crowded market. So first, number one, not notes. Number one is tell your why on your homepage. If you have a website already, this is what you do in order to get noticed. And what I mean is that when you see other websites, you'll see the company will say, we do X, Y, and Z. Great. It's boring. You get people to see what you do. What you can do to stand out is talk about why you do the things that you do. So let's use a health coach as an example. I started my business because I had a health crisis. And in order for me to get out of that crisis, I had to take better care of myself. So in order to do that, I exercised, I journaled, things of that nature. I know I've talked about this before, but this is one of those things that's so important when you talk about your why on your homepage, because it also will make you relatable. So when you talk about your why on your homepage, you say, because of this health crisis, now I want to help other women over 40 to overcome the challenges that they are having. See how that sounds better than just saying our company does X, Y, and Z? You see, there is a why behind it. And that's what I want you to know. Your story is your why. Remember, you are your brand, your story is your why. So let's keep going on that. So that's number one. Talk about your why instead of just what do you do. So the other thing is show the faces of your brand. And as stated before, you are the face of your brand. So when you go out and talk with people, or when you post things online, or even on your website, you talk about who you are and you show who you are. You can even take pictures of yourself smiling at your desk. You can take pictures of you with your team, and you can caption it. This is how the strategic magic happens, or something of that nature that aligns with what you do in your business. But take pictures professionally. If not, you got your phone, take pictures of yourself, but make sure it's of good quality. But be, I guess you could say, authentic and animated when you're talking, and make it look genuine. So that way you look relatable and people can see that you know what you're doing. But yeah, add captions talking about this is where the strategic magic happens. This is us talking about our next quarter. things of that nature, but make it look like you, make it sound like you. So, number 3, use case studies that tell the story, not just the stats. Now, what I mean by that is when you're talking in this aspect about a client, okay, I will use this as an example. Don't just say, we designed their website and their traffic went up 40%. Well, you're being specific. You redesigned their website, their traffic went up 40%. But what is the story behind it? So let's talk about the why. So when you're talking with a client who almost gave up her business because her website didn't get the traction that she had hoped for. So you can say, we sat down, we brainstormed, we came up with an idea for her to tell her story. And now she's booked out 6 months because people can find her relatable. And of course, it goes back to telling your story and your why. Your story is your superpower. So number 4, build content that has shared value. What I mean is that your content should show what you care about. It should be related to what you want your target audience to see. Now, for me, I post ladies, entrepreneurs, 40 and up, because that's my target audience and that's who I want to make myself relatable to. Now, when I say, share values, are you talking about empowerment? Are you talking about helping? Are you talking about creativity? Are you talking about authenticity? These things will make you relatable and people will be attracted to it. So this is one thing you have to remember is build content around shared values. And finally, number 5, and this is something I talk with my clients about with their copy on their website or even in their social media. You want it to sound like you. You want it to be engaging and have like conversation. So, case in point, hello, Sarah, I see you out there. I want you to talk about how you design the most awesome cakes. I want you to post that on your website. And I want you to make sure that when you approach a client about your new offerings, you talk about it as if you're standing right in front of them, or when you're doing a live or on your social media copy, make it all sound like you. And that way you're relatable and you stand out. So remember that. Your personality is what draws people in. Be the authentic you. Be you. I know I've talked about this because it's something I so believe in. Everyone out there has a special gift, a special talent, something that makes them stand apart. And you have to show that, especially in this economy right now, because so many people are going through different aspects of their lives. Unfortunately, they may have lost their job. They may have been laid off. And I've talked about this in previous episodes. So you have to make sure that what you are saying is genuine and authentic, and people can relate to that. So finally, I want to challenge you. Find something in your story that stands out about your brand. One thing, not asking for you to rewrite your business strategies, but just one thing about your story that stands out in your brand. It could be how you overcame challenges with your health. It could be that you found your new talent and you want to share. Anything like that. I want you to bring that out, especially with your web design and marketing. I want people to see the real you. So until next week, I want you to be inspired because there's so many things out there that can be inspiring, like taking a walk, feeling the breeze on your cheek, looking at the full moon. Be inspiring because when people see that you're actually putting things into motion with your entrepreneurship or your business, they will be inspired to do the same too. And be encouraged because right now it is negative. There's so many negative things out there right now. But be encouraged that things will get better. And this will be encouraging for others to see you doing something for yourself and your community. But most of all, I want you to be you and tell your story. Keep pushing forward and never give up. So until next week, take care, and I'll talk to you then.